Hey, brothers and sisters. Daniel 9:27 reads, "Then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. But in the middle of the week he shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall be one who makes desolate, even until the consummation which is determined is poured out on the desolate." Now there are varying interpretations of this passage regarding who the many is of Daniel 9:27. A lot of videos have been made regarding the many, so today I want to tackle the topic of the many within the context of Daniel 9:27. The many, in the context of this verse, I believe refers to the Jews, or Israel. Furthermore, because these Jews will carry out sacrifices, the implication is that they are unbelieving Jews. So again, the many talked about in 9:27 is the Jewish nation, the Israelis. Comparing with other passages, we see that this same phrase, the many, refers to Jews in Daniel 11 verse 33, Daniel 11 verse 39, and Daniel 12 verse 3. Note also the context allows for sacrifices, implying a rebuilt temple, something the Jews have longed to do for almost 2,000 years. With the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, the Jews were left with no acceptable place to perform sacrifices. The Antichrist will at least initially fulfill the desire of every Jewish heart, but he will do so deceptively. So, what will the many do? Well, if we look at the word covenant, covenant in our modern world has lost much of its biblical meaning, but in the context of the Bible, covenant has always signified a solemn binding agreement, and as such represented the entering of two parties into an intimate agreement. And so by entering into this covenant with the Antichrist, Israel will embrace that this prince who is to come is a savior who has been able to accomplish what others have failed to do, which is to produce peace in the Middle East. This prince becomes their political messiah. Israel's desperate desire for peace, security, and safety will play into the hands of the Antichrist, who will convince them and the world that he can provide this peace. Now, let's watch this clip from Pastor Tom Hughes regarding the many of Daniel 9:27. I believe he gives a great explanation of it here.
In verse 26, there is the people of the prince who shall come. It is to this future Roman prince that verse 27 alludes. He it is that shall confirm a covenant with many, or rather with the many. That is the mass or the majority. Interesting. I find it fascinating because Daniel wrote in a day of kings. People didn't vote. The majority didn't make treaties. Kings did. Today, a treaty with Israel would be negotiated by the prime minister or his representatives, but it would not go into effect until being confirmed by Israel's legislative body, the Knesset. This is really interesting. Through their elective representatives, they will confirm the treaty. Folks, this is so fascinating to me. Listen, that confirmation of the treaty between Israel and Antichrist will kick off the tribulation period. And when you think of that in the context of Isaiah chapter 28, where the Bible tells us this is going to happen at a time when Jerusalem is led by scornful men, they, the scornful men in Jerusalem, enter into this covenant with death. Isaiah 28, check it out. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? 69 of the weeks have already come and passed into history. But the 70th week still lurks in Earth's future. It will happen. It has been determined. It has been decreed by the one who created the universe with his spoken words. Daniel's 70th week is coming. And folks, we are watching everything converging that direction. Jerusalem is the bullseye. This is a reminder for you and me that the Bible is true. you can trust it even down to the tiniest little details that people often overlook. But it's a reminder, if the Bible is true regarding all these prophecies converging at his second coming, listen, prophecy proves that the Bible is true all the way around, and especially concerning Christ's first coming. The most important thing is to make sure that you know Christ.